In this video chapter, you will learn what are the qualities of a good project managers, what are the common mistakes of project managers, and what are the biggest mistakes of project managers. Qualities of a good project managers. Effective project management necessitates the following qualities in order to become a successful project manager. Effective communication. A successful project has always relied on clear and effective communication. However, in the age where communication channels abound, a conversation between peers has become anything except clear and constructive. And if your correspondence appears to lack order and organization, it will bear a negative impact on your business that is even worse than miscommunication. This is where experienced project managers can help. A good project manager not only knows how to create a highly participatory environment, but also how to encourage engagement and maintain the conversation on track. Understanding the importance of highly organized information moves you one step further toward creating a productive culture in your team. Many teams become so engrossed in tools and digital technologies that they neglect face-to-face collaboration. It is critical to ensure that project discussions are scheduled on a regular basis and ad hoc. Assist the team in determining the most comfortable way for them to discuss their work activities and pose questions. The daily meetings are an excellent way to get the team in a productive mood and get the day started on the right foot. Customers are usually involved in the process of projects that are the highest success rate. This is where truly capable project managers shine. An effective project manager will effectually quicken the customer service cycle and acquire a better understanding of the customer's needs by bringing the customer and the team closer together. In exchange, the team can use customer feedback to reduce waste and reduce when their product is ready for release. Why not keep a productive and hopefully friendly relationship across all parties? Managing workflow instead of people. Most project managers are prone to the futile practice of micromanagement. A team with a distrustful manager has no chance of success. A team having a project manager who can take responsibility without becoming control-obsessed, on the other hand, is in much better hands. Such a manager understands that micromanaging the team and transferring them, or worse, criticizing them for shortfalls, micromanagement can be eliminated by hiring suitable people for the job and offering training, coaching, and personal development. The antiquated stereotype of rigid organizational structure with plenty of rules is nearly extinct. Modern project managers have faith in and respect for their team's abilities, and they are focused on resolving roadblocks and optimizing delivery times. They also understand that the efficiency of workflow is the foundation of a successful project. One of the project manager's top priorities is to create a smooth workflow free of delays and impediments. To do so, obstacles and bottlenecks must be avoided early on, and conflicts must be resolved with care and without delay. The Kanban method is a set of practices that allow successful managers to accomplish all of the above. It's the method that rejects the idea of using each minute of your team's members' time. Rather, it is concerned with the balancing requirements and capacity in order to achieve maximum workflow efficiency. Making decisions. Project managers are in charge of making decisions, and they are typically judged based on a number of correct decisions they make. How can they make the most of this sum? The sole way to back up a decision using a credible argument is to possess data to back it up. Most businesses have the number, but they don't know how to utilize them and rarely leverage their power. Analytics assist successful project managers in keeping track of delivery times, identifying bottlenecks early on, and relying on strong probability estimates. Cycle time, scatter plots, and cumulative float diagrams can assist you in increasing productivity, identifying areas for upgrading, and optimizing your company's entire value stream. You can improve the outcome of your project by using data-driven analytics. In other words, before trying to implement changes supported by facts, measure and observe objectively. Managing expectations and saying no. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. on my website projectmanageriq.com you can get the free templates for your project management needs, as well as training based on my 544-page book Project Management for Managers, Program and Project Portfolio Management in Banking. Please see the details below in the description. Businesses and customer requests are repeatedly coming in a heavily saturated market. A successful project manager, on the other hand, understands the importance of saying no at times, respectfully but firmly. If your work checklist is overflowing, you should consider whether your team is able to take on new work at all. Managing the expectations of customers and stakeholders is a skill. A good project manager is conscious of their team's capabilities. He or she can also think before closing the deal and refuse if necessary. A critical project management approach is to prioritize your team's well-being and manage realistic expectations. Successful project managers safeguard their teams from burnout, their work from becoming stalled, and their projects from unavoidable and costly delays in this manner. It can be difficult to refuse a business or customer request, but is the most crucial step toward effective work prioritization. Due to the fast and rapid revolution of the market, business teams must identify work that has the greatest value to their company and catch up with due work based on their significance and urgency. Efficient prioritization ensures competitive advantage, improved workflow, and quality output that meets the requirements and deadlines of the client. Promoting an environment of continuous improvement. There is no coincidence that companies that struggled to innovate eventually went out of business. It is your responsibility as a project manager to ensure that all team members are constantly learning new skills. Assuming that your team knows everything and does not require regular coaching and education can lead to business failure. Successful project managers understand the importance of self-improvement and encourage it. One way to accomplish this is to manage team idle time. Several companies are embracing the policy to allocate as much as 20% of their workers' time for coaching, reading, and sharpening their skills. Likewise, they have a budget set aside for conferences, seminars, and courses. Hackathons organized by software companies are an excellent example of this approach, but a brilliant way to encourage positive competition among your co-workers while also encouraging self-development and fun. Continuous improvement is critical for optimizing business processes and making sure employees' skill sets are expanding and progressing in the right direction. Regarding identifying areas for improvement within a team retrospectives are becoming increasingly popular. Assemble the team around you and ensure everyone is safe and comfortable before asking them to discuss their performance over the last few weeks. The following questions are a good place to start. What went right? What challenges we have faced? What did we take away from both? What is still uncertain? How can we proceed? Project managers who are successful will act on feedback from their teams. Furthermore, a successful project manager will make use of Kaizen method to encourage gradual improvement derived from past shortcomings. Finally, don't ever underestimate the power of team participation. You must ensure that all members are totally committed to business development in order to achieve continuous improvement. Every good project manager strives for this kind of cohesive progress. Project managers' common mistakes. With so many working components in a project, stakeholders, requirements, risks, team members, great news, bad news, due dates, budgets, it's no surprise that things go wrong. The good thing is that missteps are a necessary part of education. However, knowing what to do next and how to react to project errors is critical. I think it's fantastic that the most valuable references book in project management is labeled Project Managers Grow by Sharing Their Experiences with One Another. What are some of the most common mistakes project managers do? Here's a list of blunders project managers make along with my thoughts on the subject. Failure to identify all stakeholders. A project, by classification, is a collaborative effort that will only be successful if the team and those associated with it are taken into account. The worst of all mistakes a project manager will make is failing to identify everyone who is involved in and affected by the project. If you neglect to take into account the interests of every key stakeholder, you risk undermining and ultimately failing a project. Lack of complete clarity on requirements. Projects are about bringing ideas to life. You won't be able to finish a project if you can't compare what you've done to the initial concept. Being straightforward on your project specifications is critical to project management and should be a constant topic of discussion. Any route get you there if you don't know where you're going. Failure to take risk management seriously. When I was writing my book, I asked a bunch of experts what they thought and what was the most vital facet of project management. Surprisingly, many people mentioned risk management, and after further investigation, I completely concur with them. Unless you're working on a highly sensitive project, there is usually no need to ruminate on this. Simply gather your team, make a list of possible roadblocks and risks that your project might face, devise a straightforward action plan in the event that these risks occur, and designate a team member to take on that risk. The team member will be responsible for keeping an eye out for it and sounding the alarm if any of the mentioned risks appear. It's a simple action that will help you prepare for your project and reassure you during the planning and implementation phases. And it's even better if you possess project management software that highlights risks in your plan. Failure to learn lessons. In the tussle of a project, when you and your team members are struggling to stay on time, budget and scope, many project teams overlook the importance of promoting lessons learned exercises. These revolved around lessons learned throughout the project. Too often lessons learned workshops are held at the end of the project. It was too late. A good practice is to organize lessons learned workshops or discussions on a continuous basis so that you and the team can be accustomed to the process. Not putting time and effort into assembling the right team. There was a period when employing team members solely on the basis of their cover letter, resume, and interviews was sufficient. Today, team members must be, well, team members, in addition to having the necessary subject matter expertise required to perform the work. Before hiring a new employee, I would advise you to ask yourself a couple of questions as the project manager. Can they complete the task? Will they be accepted? Companies take these concerns sincerely and use a methodological and careful strategy to find suitable candidates, create incredible corporate cultures where employees are excited and happy to work. Lack of buy-in. Have you ever attempted to give a kid a bath while they are not feeling well? That's what it's like to manage projects without everyone's buying. When we consider getting buy-in, we usually think of obtaining from highly important stakeholders, those who have the actual authority to derail a project. While this is essential, it's also critical to obtain buy-in from the entire team. You want everyone involved in the work to be completely committed to the project's vision and goals. Permitting scope creep. Scope creep is a serious problem that, if not addressed, can lead to a project failure. According to an ancient Arabian proverb, if the camel gets his nose in the tent once, his body will follow soon after. Keep the camel off the tent before it gets too close. In short, making a huge issue out of the work is the method preventing scope creep. Create a process that both discourages impromptu change requests and analyzes their effect on both budget and timeline. Address scope creep with caution and prevent undesirable alterations and increases in scope. Not telling bad news to others. Each of us is guilty of keeping bad news to ourselves. We frequently justify it by saying, it's only a minor issue, why should everyone be concerned? While the strategy may be enough when working alone on a project, it does not work when there is a team involved and the organization well-being is dependent on the project success. All members of the team are working on various tasks and work assignments under the premise that everything is going as planned. Your minor issue may have unanticipated impact on the work of another team member. Also, This issue could be listed as a potential problem in the risk register and you aren't aware of its existence. Or it may be in someone else's personal risk register and they haven't communicated about it. There are numerous other reasons why concise and transparent communication about issues, no matter what, how minor, is critical. Projects generate a large number of documents. They necessitate meetings, information sharing, and change tracking, all while requiring a log of activities, once referred to as paper trail. Using improper tools can swiftly derail a project. Even when good tools are used, a silo mindset may inhibit the team from considering how such tools will interact with one another. When selecting tools, make sure they integrate to the fullest extent so that information flows freely throughout the team and logs are kept. Communication failure. Finally, we arrive at communication. All of the topics mentioned above boil down to communication. Whether it's not using the right tools or keeping negative news to oneself, allowing scope creep, failing to get buy-in, not hiring the right people, failing to learn lessons, ignoring risk management, being ambiguous on requirements or forgetting stakeholders, being a better communicator makes it so much easier to prevent these problems. The great thing about becoming a good communicator is that you learn and keep improving on the job every day. Make this a major focus. Learn from your missteps and you will soar. Click on the video card on the right to understand why projects fail and how to prevent projects from failing, as well as not to do in project management. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. On my website projectmanageriq.com you can get the free samples of your project management needs, as well as training based on my 544-page book Project Management for Managers, Program and Project Portfolio Management in Banking, translated into 9 languages and counting. Please see the details below in the description. Please see details below in the description as well, which also states where to buy my book and what is the best program and project management software, PPA.